So Tim, welcome to London. Thank you for taking the time to have a chat. We're obviously here to talk about September 5. It obviously deals with the events of the Munich Olympics in 1972.
Mm-hmm.
This is a story that's been, it's been done in feature film before and in documentary.
Mm-hmm.
What was it about, I guess, the ABC sort of sports channel side that spoke out to you as an angle that you wanted to explore the story with?
In a way, you answered that question already, that the perspective for us was the thing, because we all were also confronted with that when starting to work on the movie. There have been movies about it before, and there have been also great movies like Spielberg's Munich. And especially I want to point out one documentary by a British filmmaker called One Day in September by Kevin MacDonald, which was actually the first time I learned about what happened on the day in Munich when I saw this film as a teenager in a theater in Basel. But the answer is the perspective. Like, we're telling it from a new, very specific angle, and what these other films only partly explore, but that seem to us, especially from today's point of view, very relevant, is the media perspective and how, in a way, this day was a turning point in media history and maybe created a new, or it was the starting of a new area of news reporting or news coverage.
And you were able to speak to some of the people that were in that room. How did their stories kind of inform the story that you then put on screen?
Oh, there was basically these conversations. The very first conversation that we had with Jeffrey Mason was the initial spark to tell the movie from that perspective, because he experienced it live there as a young man working for ABC Sports. And listening to his stories of what they went through, what challenges they faced, that's what sparked the idea of telling it entirely from the media perspective. And then we also spoke to one of the runners that had to smuggle the film material past the police barricades. And we talked to the son of Jim McKay. Jim McKay is the host of ABC Sports, was the host of ABC Sports. We also were lucky enough to get the original footage of Jim McKay. And his son was there as a teenager, so we had these eyewitnesses that we talked to. But there are also, like Tim McKay and Rune Alge, each have dedicated a whole chapter in the biographies about that day. And there are a lot of, there's a lot of, there's a broad research that we could make. There were a lot of sources.
And one thing that I really love about the film, it's set in this, very enclosed space, but the energy of the camera is really kinetic. How did you guys kind of rehearse those intricate moves without losing that spontaneity of the actors' performances?
Mm-hmm. One of the techniques that we use is what you just said, the rehearse. We always shoot the rehearsal. So you don't do a rehearsal, but you want to use that energy of the spontaneous first takes where everything is still unclear, and there are certain moments that don't happen if you plan them or so. And the idea that the DP, Markus Förder, and I had is that we would shoot it as if we would be a crew of documentary filmmakers in that room, just observing. And that's also, I don't know if you get a chance to talk to the actors also, but that's what they also said. Like, for them, they almost completely forget that there are cameras around them, because we were in this technical setting, with all the, so they didn't, so the cables or so didn't stand out to them. So they almost forgot that there are cameras around them. And so we were like part of the ensemble in a way also with our cameras.
Nice. Well, thank you so much for talking to me, and best of luck with the film. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And good.